Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Let's get to Stephen Thomas. And Stephen, welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So a couple of headlines that we wanted to flash past you, get your thoughts. Out of Forbes, home prices growing as fast as before the housing collapse.
Yeah,
Are we at risk?
No, I actually think we overshot the bottom. When you look at a lot of the different charts and the curves, we really did fall pretty heavily, especially here in Southern California, Florida, other areas. We came down about 40% in value. That was a bit too far. Now we're correcting.
So you think that the drop in values was an overcorrection?
Yeah, well, that's why there's so many sellers are sitting on the sidelines just waiting for equity to reestablish in their homes. We always talk about short sales. We've talked about in this program before, talk about the number of distressed people underwater. There's only 15% in all of Orange County alone that is upside down. That's 15%. That means 85% is not.
Hey, Steve, comment on this one. So Southern California Public Radio stated this: why housing prices are up in Southern California and what it means to you. What does it mean to the listeners?
Well, it means that we're going the right direction. And you can see a little giddy up in everybody's step. And we'll get to some of the other articles that we've seen recently on there's giddy up in everybody's step, including in the real estate industry. Everybody's a little bit happier. We could use a little more inventory. I'm sure everybody would agree out there in real estate land and a lot of buyers out there. But nonetheless, we're going the right direction, and it's a good place to be right now. Everybody wants to be a part of real estate.
Well, let me follow up with this one then. On the KCM blog, it said, should your buyers increase their offers because of this trend? What do you think?
If they want to play, they need to do that. We're trending up, and if you can get in now, you might want to pay a little bit extra, because a year from now you're going to be looking back and going, boy, I wish I would have paid a little bit extra. Or you could just sit on the sideline, watch the whole entire thing unfold and take place, and continue to rent. Which we had that in the last time we were spiking up. And we're spiking up right now, like I said before, because we overshot the bottom. So that's why there's a big surge right now.
Hang in there. I have a follow-up question on that, but I wanted to remind our listeners, with questions that come up, give us a shout direct. You can reach us in 3 different ways. You can call us direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. On the web at nelsonradio.com. And Stephen, people can text my name, Nelson, to 313131 and get a hold of me direct. So 3 different gateways. I wanted to ask you, with your analysis that you're doing with reportsonhousing.com, this economic recovery, the real estate piece of it is critical. And I think most people don't realize that all the other business sectors that benefit when we have a positive real estate.
Yeah, when we have positive real estate, I was talking about it a few years ago, that as soon as we get the real estate market to come back, that's what's going to pull the rest of the economy out of the drudgery that we were all dealing with for such a long time. And sure enough, it's happening. We're seeing employment numbers are starting to look better, especially in the month of February. I think we added 240,000 jobs across the United States. Unemployment's dropping. Here in Orange County, it looks very favorable for the next year. We're sitting in a really good spot right now, and it's going to pull up the rest of the economy. We're seeing Home Depot, Lowe's, their stocks going nuts because everybody's now planting plants, flowers. They're remodeling. They're rehabbing their houses. Everybody's got a little bit more juice in their step.
The construction sector is picking up.
Yes, it's across the board, and it's pulling everybody. I've heard that these builders can't even find enough people to help them build their homes because they all went out and found other jobs. So it's positive momentum, and we're going to continue to build from that.
It's nice to see the economy and everything that goes with it turn around, Steve.
Absolutely.
Well, and you mentioned jobs. Get this. Forbes has just published this past week the happiest and unhappiest jobs in America. You're thinking it's law practice.
I'm thinking it's Nelson Radio.
Oh, I would guess no other. They cited number one, the happiest jobs in America are actually coming from the real estate professional segment, real estate agents, and they say for the reasons of the work environment. Obviously, homes are selling very quickly right now. Job resources, compensation, growth opportunities. I mean, it's a lot of positive reasons that people should be involved in real estate.
Yeah, it is one of it's the career that is very fulfilling because you have happy buyers now. You have happy sellers as well. When a buyer finally is handed the keys, they're happy. So in turn, real estate agents are really happy. They're upbeat. Of course, they can use a lot more inventory, and that does not mean that, hey, come on over to real estate land that you're going to be making a lot of money. It is hard work. That's for sure. I've seen them all. They have to work really hard to do what they're doing, but they're really enjoying it right now.
Well, and it seems like the buyers out there are just so plentiful. I mean, this morning, ironically, getting ready to come to the show, there's a flyer outside of my door saying, hey, you know what, I'm looking to move. I'm looking for a new house. I hope it wasn't from my wife.
I thought I'm looking for a new husband.
I figured I'd beat you to the punch. But are you seeing a lot more of that, or is it just my house?
Well, I've been asked that from many different agents. How do I find a place for my buyer? Well, start knocking on doors, note cards to homeowners. Do whatever you can.
Yeah, my buddy just sold his house. I said, why did you move? And he said, same sort of thing. I got a letter like this. They made a price. I said, I had to move. The price was so good.
So Stephen Thomas, reportsonhousing.com. Thanks for being with us and giving us those insights. This segment of Street Noise brought to you by Title 365. They're innovators in bringing technology to the real estate sector with up-to-the-moment information and transaction status on your iPads, your iPhones, your everything. They're fabulous in terms of communicating what's taking place. Or to reach us direct, you can call us 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. We're going to be looking at chemistry and how that impacts us later in the show with our LA Lakers announcer, John Ireland. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Well, with that chemistry, I'm going to ask Steve one more question. Steve, I want you to answer this one question. We got your dad, Gary, coming up on the show. Should listeners stay tuned?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
There you have it. We'll be right back.
Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.